well. And I think they will, so I'll go with Tundra, but I don't think this draft is that far apart.
Okay, well, that should be an
60-40?
exciting game then. What you gonna say percentages, T?
Yeah, I thought I'd throw a 60-40 just as a closing point. Sorry, don't know why I needed to say that. It felt right in the moment, you know. 60-40. Woo!
It's all good. It's all good. For me, 50-50. We'll see who takes the first game of this best of 3. We'll see who woke up on the right side of the bed. We're gonna find out together with Odie Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 1 of Tundra versus Liquid. And Fog, what do you make of this? I feel this is a bit of a spooky game for Liquid. You're against this TB that's strong against the Luna in concept, and you're against a Brood. You have finished your lineup with the Storm, but there's a Nyx Assassin in the game, so not necessarily a free game for the Storm at all. Definitely something that qualifiers going to have to look out for. It seems like that there's a lot of counters that Tundra do have going for them this game.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing that I want to highlight from what Curtis was saying was the lack of team fight. You do look at Tundra's draft, and it is very just about, you know, winning the lanes, dominating lanes, and taking over map, and using these annoying heroes that can get into backline, annoying heroes that can get into just like sneaking around too. You have Nyx, you have Mirana ult, you have Broodmother. Great ways to get information of backline, so be able to get on top of these big team fight kings like Warlock. So that's where I feel like Tundra does have an edge to at least find that backline. But if they come out at an advantage out of lanes, I could see Liquid in a big problem. Like if they're just too far behind in golden levels, like their heroes do require those levels to be able to come back in the game. This Brood could just have been too much for them to deal with.
Yeah, and you sort of agree with what Howie was saying when it comes to the matchup they're going to want to look for, you know, to make sure that Luna doesn't have a bad time against the Brood scenario. Are we going to see some progression from Liquid in their lane setup?
I really hope they do. I think it's a really good idea just because it's like the double benefit. You give Boxy a better start of the game. You're going to be slowing down the Terrorblade. And then, sure, you might be a little bit lacking with levels. You're going to have to split up from that. But then you're not going to have this Brood that just takes over at this, like, 5-minute mark or something like that. Sure, he'll be able to take over, but Boxy's going to have a good game. At the very least, rather than being shut down. But yeah, let's say what setup they do have.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We did have a mild pause there, so apologies for that. But all the players now good to get on with the action. As we get ourselves stuck into game 1. Tundra.
Who do you like more? Whose draft do you like a little more on?
As I said, I've got to say Tundra's.
You're a little bit more on
33
Tundra
proves
too, right?
scary. I think TB kind of just wins games. I think Luna I'm still sort of on the fence about. And I'm a little worried for qualifier trying to find the space on the map when this Nyx Assassin, you know, Fada and Snaking, these two, they're going to be hunting him down. I mean, throwing 9 in as well. That's 3 stuns already. Liquid starting off the action with a catch on to 33 Fairy Fire. Buy him a little bit of time. Is it going to be enough? He's into the trees. Have Liquid got anything more to throw out here?
Oh, he messed up. Oh, he got the tree cut.
Still able to cut through towards the web.
Oh my god.
Boxy's going to have another spear if he wants to throw it blindly into the corner of the map. But he's not going to do so. So 33 will manage to get away there. That Fairy Fire pretty much saving his life. Will manage to get away from that early smoke, that first move Liquid were trying to make before the game begins.
And we have 3 abilities skilled right away, right? So we have Spear, which hurts a little bit for laning phase. We also have Bushwhack, which I feel also it's mixed. I've seen people start with Bushwhack. I've also seen most talk about how they want to get a corner secure range creep. So, you know, now they did show that they did get those abilities. And 33, he'll heal back up. You know, this web regen, it will add up. It will give him back to almost full HP. And wow, I cannot believe that, like, you know, a Fairy Fire and a Windlace is what saves him. That little extra movement speed, that little extra heal is enough.
We'll see Boxy getting some value out of this.
Nice.
Anyway. Pin Skeeter to the tree, pick up the bounty ring. Make sure to start with 2 for 2 on the bounties. The lanes come into place. Boxy and Tiger will be up top. So it does mean that Mickey is going to be farming into this Brood Mirana lane. And is this just what sort of a lane that in the early levels, or just for the most of it, Brood is considered pretty strong?
Yeah, Brood's going to do very well. Mickey should be able to farm the first, like, 2-3 levels, but it just progressively starts to get worse. And then, of course, when 6 comes around, it's just over. You know, Luna has to completely leave the lane. And I'm just going to be watching Snaking, too, because I'm watching Insania did not block the camp. So hard camp is going to be left available for Snaking to arrow and to get some pulls off. So see if Insania makes the way over to block it now. So won't be able to block that. So that's open for Snay, which is usually pretty huge. That's one of the main things you want to do versus a Mirana.
Yeah, we sort of see
like,
blocked
lanes.
every time against those, you know, sort of heroes that utilize the big creep on the first round.
Yeah, usually you even see like double sentry wards bought out, but Insania did want to just get extra regen to be able to secure for Mickey. And I guess like being able to push the wave out constantly, maybe with fatal bonds is what he's looking at, because he's got clarities too. So usually your clarities are to heal your carry, but I guess they're really just trying to force the lane in so Mika can't get pressured at all, which is a pretty interesting approach.
Yeah, maybe having some sort of ideas. The panel said, you know, Liquid, they're going to know about the Brood. You know, they've got one of the better Brood players on the squad. Probably being able to give the team the info to sort of say what messes with the Brood the most in the laning stage and allows the matchup to be playable against him.
Yeah, and so that's why Insania is saving the sentry. He's waiting to make sure he can unblock his camp rather than block a camp. But that, you know, usually you do see the second sentry box, so you can do both. And yeah, just the constant pushing out of the wave is looking good for Mika, starting 10-3. We look at mid, we haven't really given any attention to Quakefa, but doing well in the matchup also, 12-0.
There is little hope for
No struggle shoving the lane out. Yeah, top Skeeter, 9 for 1. Boxy's close up here as well in this matchup.
Then we do see Boxy, one of the most player combo, the Mars, of course. Even though he did take that bit of a break anyway during the, what we want to call a little bit of the Mars major, where Mars was picked like almost every game during the beginning of it. You know, Boxy wasn't there for it, so would have an even higher number if he was there.
Take over the games. And sort of hitting its stride on the Mars.
Yeah.
And Liquid looking towards that happening again here.
And watching, right now I'm watching Snaking's movements, stacking the camps, he's arrowing to make sure he keeps up his farm, and he's also checking runes. This is something really important I always point out about Snaking with Tundra, because I still don't see many 4 players do what he does of just, he literally will just lead the lane to check the 2-minute rune, the 4-minute rune, the 6-minute rune every time, which is still a bit rare to say.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Snake catch the courier. They've managed to get the delivery done to Insania though, so still has that sentry ready. Troll around it.
And Mickey's chilling. Great start. Brood not getting slowed down either, but yeah, this is really good for Mickey. Getting that early 2 points in the Blessing. He gets these early stat items too. And we'll be able to get his like level 4, level 5 online, and then just leave the lane probably from 33 and just swap. Probably, it depends on what all happens inside of the game, but eventually they do want to send Boxy down there to try to slow down the push. But that's as long as he's having a decent time in top. He doesn't want to just like ditch the lane.
Sure, because even with the push out of the fatal bonds, these two at a point they won't be able to counter the straight up pressure that the Brood can apply.
No, and then it's like your Warlock. Your Warlock might just die. I don't know if Insania even wants to play in the bottom lane once the... That's why it's a bit of a scary game for me, for the Warlock in general. Fada.
You can get him here, Tiger. We'll be able to find him. He's able to sneak around the tree line, get that first blood here for Liquid.
Thanks.
Strong lane up top for sure. The Hoodwink plus the Mars, and also just with the Blightstone, this slight little extra bit, even though it's sure the Terrorblade, he doesn't care so much. The support most definitely does. They've slowed down TB more than the Luna's being slowed down for sure.
Snaking. Doing a good job of sniping some couriers here and there. Top lane. Getting onto Skeeter. Tiger. Quite enough damage with the Schwack alone, so Skeeter live another day here on this top lane.
And now they're very low on mana on Liquid. They have a ton of stuff coming out on the courier. I believe it's, yeah, raindrop, double regen for Taiga to keep himself up there.
Mid lane. Very close. Team will deny sort of erring the way of 9, but Quakefa a little bit ahead in the CS with the efficiency, farming that small camp on these early levels.
I think this is huge. Honest, up top, Fada, again, getting caught out.
Got the damage. The stick charges, Fada. Tiger. Couple more hits, you can only get in the 1. So this time around, Fada are able to make it away.
Yeah, I think it's pretty huge that Quakefa's done so well, because as I mentioned, Snaking has checked all the water runes, so he didn't get to fill up. So the fact that he's able to, maybe he's like slightly behind because it's small camp. Actually, he's ahead by 70. So yeah, he's ahead in the matchup when no one's checking his runes for him, and it's a Lina versus Storm. That's really good for Liquid.
Yeah, we've seen Storms get trashed by Lina straight in the matchup. Quakefa's going to be very happy with this outcome so far. And it's top lane this time round. They've got the damage. Another kill for Tiger. Some good early action here. Being able to bully Farter as the Nyx assassin. Not really able to offer up too much now. Boxy and Tiger, they've got good control and damage. All 4 on both of them.
Oh, cool.
Struggle in this lane.
And Boxy's gone for just a straight Morbid Mask for sustain. We saw a lot of people at the Major just doing the Ring of Health. This is kind of a cooler approach, because then you're going to eventually probably go for something like, I guess, like a Vlad's, or maybe Satanic way later, depending how big you are. But yeah, that's neat.
Jumps onto Skeeter. Skeeter's ready to turn here, popping the Metamorphosis, but Honor not quite back in time to set up with the stun. Be able to step away.
$1K lead after leans for Liquid. I think that's pretty big. I feel like Tundra set themselves up to have like these really strong lanes. Sure, Brood takes some time to kick in, but I think this is a great start. As Boxy, he does get back.
This time around, they've got him. See the counterplay though for Qualifier. He's going to be able to come in and help out, take down Fada. Look towards Skeeter, but a little too low on the mana to go for anything else onto this Terrorblade, especially once he still has the Metamorphosis going. Be a little careful how they commit in onto Skeeter.
It's
Tundra
Brood time.
able to get themselves a kill on the board.
Mika's got to get the hell out of bottom, but he gets hit by the arrow.
They got him, Snay. Catches him just before the TP's out in time. So this is going to start to be the test, isn't it, for Liquid, where some of these lanes start to fall apart a bit. This bottom half of the map, 33, as you said, didn't necessarily shut down the Luna in the laning stage, at least the beginning of it all, but now it's at the point where you got to ask yourself, who's going to go down here? You said it might be Boxy. Boxy still continue to play on this top lane, wanting to play into the face of the Terrorblade, but that really is going to leave this whole bottom half open for 33 to do as he wishes.
And then it's just going to be that space thing, just like Panel was talking about how EG did the Broodmother plus Terrorblade. It's just going to be 33 and Snake in controlling this whole bottom side of this map, as Terrorblade's able to farm the whole other side. So yeah, this is going to be something that Liquid has to come up with a plan for. So we'll see if they do look to move Boxy. Still has 35 seconds on TP. Almost has ult available. Maybe wants to try to set up for a kill on Skeeter before he does get out, since meta is still down for about 50. But Skeeter's got Sunder. He's got a point saved. Yeah, so if they do go for it, they have to 100-0 him.
Playing it safe. He knows that they're going to be looking for that sort of opportunity, especially with Boxy staying up on this top half of the map. Farm elsewhere. C9. I'm going straight for the Yules.
Yep.
Tension round mid. Insania level 5. Not quite got the 6. Huge part of the team fight. They're able to get that 6 ASAP on the Warlock.
And the wild thing, too, for Liquid, I think this is one of the rarest games I've seen that they have 0 stacks, by the way.
That's pretty unliquid. That's certainly true. Past, they definitely have been the sort of squad to sort that out the best. See, we'll get the pick off on Fada, but yeah, you're right. Mickey is not going to have that early boost.
And here comes 33.
There's pressure from bottom to mid. Sweeping over the three of them. Snaking and 9 backing him up. Snaking's going to TP back. Make sure that they don't go any more aggressive onto Skeeter. Back over to the river. 33 get the kill. Box is going to drop the arena. It's not going to catch anyone at all. Tundra. The turnover was Quake for able to ball lightning out. That's the arena used here. Nothing to be found for Liquid as Tundra starting to get active with their moves and motives across the map.
They need to get a ward to be able to watch this, like, this area, this high ground, I think. Even a ward on their high ground. It's already been sentryed to be able to get scouted, so maybe too difficult at this point. But they have to be able to get the vision of where these Tundra heroes are playing on the right side, which they just can't right now. And level 6 is still not there for either Tiger or Insania. Feels like they need the Golem to fully commit for this defense, unless they're just going to park 4 bodies here.
Yeah, their 6 timings is just that much more important than those for Tundra. You know, sure, Tundra, it's nice to get the XP on the supports, but with the way that Liquid want to respond to these sort of pushes and pokes from Tundra, they've got to have the team fight together so they can really hit Tundra hard with the strength that they have in their draft.
Yeah, and Tundra, they recognize this. Like, they forced 4 heroes to the mid lane. They're like, okay, we're going to back away. That means our Terrorblade's now able to just chill inside of his jungle and get the free farm. 33 backs over and starts farming the Liquid side of the map too. So they're getting more out of the map right now. Mika is getting good farm, so is Koifa, but you're watching Taiga and Boxy they have to just sit in the mid lane.
The lead that Liquid did have off the back of the lanes, now starting to slip away. Tundra to take the advantage. Quick smoke and a TP from 9 as he heads down towards the bottom. This bots, he's ready to join forces with 33 at any possible time.
Okay, that's cool. So that this is to control the map better, because I feel like that's what they're feeling that's going to happen. They're going to get that tower advantage. They're going to be able to look for these kills. So I kind of like the bots approach rather than going for the Yules first this game. The idea of it does make a lot of sense to me. And look at these aggressive wards. Like, great ward coverage coming out from the side of Tundra. Now Liquid very limited. They did get that one ward down that I was mentioning, just in their side of the jungle, at least, to watch some of the movement that's going to be swinging from 33. But that will mean that mid tower is probably still quite difficult to defend when Tundra does set up for it.
They've got Qualifier and Mickey, both cores here, ready for some action potentially, but Fada, he's got the
scouting.
6 with the Vendetta scouting this out, so sort of awkward moments here where both cores are not really able to be that efficient with the map itself, lead to indeed Tundra just continuing to be much more efficiently split up, snaking, even picking up some farm here on the top lane.
Boxy's got the blink, so now Liquid can make their own aggressive moves. The spiders will start hitting mid. Can't quite get the rebuke onto them.
Now got all these ults ready to go, Liquid, so huge team fight.
With the building, the tower.
Towards, I mean, the spiders are doing it.
It's dying.
They're going to have to go for the tower tonight. And they're not even going to get that. The spiders end up getting the last hit.
And now
Boxy is going to get caught out by surprise. Tundra's in with a Moonlight Shadow move. They're on top of him. The Golem's going to get dropped down, but Boxy's already gone. Liquid, if they do anything to turn this around, they'll be able to get the grab onto Fada. They'll bring him out. But at the end of it all, it's a 1-for-1. Golem drop. Yeah, Skeeter cleans it up. An easy plus 100 gold for the Terrorblade. Tundra, they're taking the tower and they're keeping themselves on top of it. 12 minutes in, still a 2k lead and growing for Tundra.
Yep, big win. Just back to the game plan. They take the tower, everybody goes back to doing their own thing. 33 goes back to farming jungle. He is spotted, so Liquid could go for him, but then 9, he goes top 2. Yeah, this is a really clean executed game plan after that laning start here from Tundra, where it's kind of questioning, like, how does Liquid get aggressive? You know, they're kind of starting to get trapped on their side of the map. Sure, Mickey's still getting good farm, but you know, it's a Luna versus Terrorblade matchup. This Terrorblade's gonna come out on top if he's in this type of spot.
Oh, we got, they're looking for 33, but all the rebuke and the spear both miss. They will get the grab with the Vortex.
He's tanky.
So they actually have to damage. They don't 9. He's been able to jump over with the bots. He's in with the stun. That's quite forgone. Boxy's going to be left behind as Fada snaking. They'll chase Boxy into the trees. Tiger will be able to TP out, but Boxy goes down. And this, I mean, moves like that, they're just not going to cut it in the EU qualifiers. This is looking rough for Liquid already. Tundra's starting to really open them up at just 13 minutes in.
Absolutely, and you can't make those type of, like, these mistakes, they compile very quickly, right? When they use that chaotic offering in mid, now you're not going to have it for the next, like, 3 minutes or so. So Tundra's just got so much availability of the map when they're looking for these sneaky plays, and we did mention early, that's exactly how Tundra's draft is playing. You know, they've got Moonlight Shadow, they've got Nyx, they've got Brood, they've got so many ways to swing around the map quickly. As Mickey,
straight up top, always out range of the stun. Hey, he'll be able to step away.
Close.
Scary territory though. Time they're pushing out, know that 9's going to be very quick to play aggressive across the map, able to take away some potential gold there from Liquid with the tower denied.
The biggest scary thing for me really is that a lot of their cores are just kind of counteracting. Sure, they've got this great team fight, but there's a Nyx versus the Storm. There's the TB versus the Luna. So these matchups are just difficult for them.
Oh, here we go, Qualifier.
Loves
Big
it.
sip. Going in very deep into the jungle. The Moonlight Shadow's out. Tundra's starting to reposition themselves. Fada turns to the stun. Onto Qualifier. Laguna's out. Qualifier's gone. Another death on the Storm as Qualifiers game starting to take quite a hit now. 2 deaths back to back.
And they're chasing Mickey.
Sonya, I've got him with the slow. 33's in on top of him. Mickey, he'll pop the ult. He's trying to bring down Fada. Fada, he's going to head into the trees. Mickey, can he actually get the final hit off? Can't. As Mickey caught out by a stun, Fada survives. As Liquid, they've just got to get everybody out of it. Insania's trying to head into the trees, but 33 and 9, they're chasing him down. Another catch here for Tundra. As they're starting to crumble. This is a rough one here for Liquid. 15 minutes in, 6k lead. Tundra looking very hot here with this opening.
Yeah, Skeeter's just pops meta and goes into the enemy ancient side, starts farming their ancients, and that was such an aggressive zip card from
just pulled straight in. Pretty much, I think more than half his mana. Really going for that, and with the Moonlight Shadow, I don't think they actually had any sort of deep sentry ward or vision control. So already fighting into a very difficult scenario. And of course, Tundra, they make everything happen off the back of that. Big kills.
They're winning these fights, and we talked about it. AUI, you know, Curtis was saying there's not really like any team fight in particular on the side of Tundra, just besides their like stuns and coordination and stuff like that.
But
like it's just these small individuals, and they're winning the fights. Yeah. So Liquid, they need to get their shit together, and they need to get their ults coordinated more properly. Because right now it's They're just getting outplayed all over the map. They got to get a combo play coming together. They got to get like a Mars ulti plus the chaotic offering.
Now pressure on Boxy to set this up here. He's coming in with the blink. What sort of a jump they can...
Oh no!
It's off the mark. Off the mark, and now Tundra's going to start moving in. The column will be dropped. Fada will fall. But again, this is sort of the whole team fight from Liquid. They've only killed Fada. That's not enough. And Tundra, they know they're chasing Liquid straight down. Insania, he'll fall. qualifiers coming in with the Vortex to grab 9. They'll put the Moonlight Shadow, Skeeter even with the bro move there, sundering 9 back
Mickey?
up to full HP. Mickey's gone, getting nuked down by the Laguna Blade. As Tundra, they're able to one up Liquid every single move that Liquid's trying to make. And it's these sort of openings that just are not nearly clean enough from Liquid that are hurting them hard every single move they try.
And it's big mistakes, really. That's multiple times now we're seeing Boxy missing this bounce now. Quick at the top.
Set. Yours, light strike arrow, perfectly timed. Another kill for Tundra.
That is just clean now at this point. In the laning phase, I think that's where it all ended, where it was looking good for Liquid. I think they had 5 kills, and then it's been like 12 kills in favor of Tundra. They're dominating the map, they're dominating the fights, and Liquid's just, they're missing their spells. Boxy missed the bottom spear plus rebuke. This one, he misses the spear. The ulti only catches the Nyx inside of it. Same thing for chaotic offering. It's all just missing.
And it's just, you know, for qualifiers game as well, it's, you know, on a Storm Spirit, when this sort of happens, these back-to-back deaths, it just hurts his game so much. And he's still trying to scramble towards this Kaya Sanj. It's not going to be easy for him to find himself in a position where he could play as aggressively or even get towards these backlines. You know, it's already at a point where Tundra, they don't really have heroes in a state that are very killable for qualifier to start the action on. They've got ways to protect themselves, the tank ability to turn, and a whole lot of stuns. As I said, with the Storm pick, the Nyx, the Lina, and of course with the Yule set up into the arrow from snaking, there's so much that the qualifier's got to be so careful about when he tries to go in on these fights.
Dude, they're all so tanky. Like they're all like 1200 HP plus. The main target that you could go for the squishiest one would be the Nyx, because the Mirana has a mech, and he had an S.
He's in, but he's straight away. The spike carapace is there. The rebuke getting reflected immediately. Boxing and pop a spear up, but the wall's already disappeared.
Tundra's just so ready. Every move they're prepared for. And now qualifier.
Fada's on him. qualifier, he's going for the TP out, but Fada's got the stun. qualifier's escape put to an end. And I mean, what do you do now if you're Liquid? This has got to be pretty demoralizing. You've tried to fight, I mean, easily a handful of times now, maybe 4 or 5, and it's just gone terribly every single time. You've not been able to achieve anything. Each move that you've made, as Tundra, they have, as I said, they just continue to stand on top of them as bottom, and Sania's gone. Tundra just full control of this game, and they're making it look easy here, Tundra.
They are. I honestly think this is one of those where you go next pretty soon, because all your core matchups are countered. You know, you have the Luna versus TB, as we mentioned before, the Storm versus the Nyx, and all these stuns. Sure, you've got all this team fight, but clearly the team fight's not working. The synergy, the coordination is just not there from Liquid, and Tundra is on fire. Like, they're reading all the movements, they're making clean moves around the map. All these wards have been on point, and this is them, most of the times I feel like they've been fighting with just, like, Skeeter shows up with a meta at the end and just, like, 1 or 2 hits and cleans up the fight. It's been, yeah, pretty much perfect from them.
All 3 cores just in a fantastic position in net worth. As we say, to each and every one of those team fights that Liquid aren't able to pull together, you're just upping the difficulty for the next time round you approach it with the lead that Tundra continues to grow against them. These moves are not going to get any easier to make against the strength of Tundra. And the question's got to be asked if you can really make them at all. Liquid possibly have just missed the timing completely this game.
I think so. It's the thing is too is they have all these big team fight ultimates, but the fact they didn't hit them earlier, right? And now they've gotten so many items on Tundra. Like you mentioned, everyone's so tanky. They've got pipe, they've got mech, they've got essence ring. They've got so many different elements to keep them alive. 9 has a BKB and he's level 18. So you can't go for the Lina almost ever unless you 100-0 her before she's able to get out of a stun, which you're kind of lacking. Sure, you've got the spear, but you have to connect it instantly, and she'll have time to react most times. And I don't know.
Comes out, Mick. What we got?
I just don't know what you like. The itemization for Mickey just gets really complicated too when you're this behind versus a Terrorblade too, because it's like, what do you want to get? You have to have your Manta, you have to go for your BKBs just to survive, but then where's your damage going to be coming? Just tough game after.
And it's just awkward for the Luna as a hero as well, right? Like, you pick this carry to sort of just get this, you know, super fast timing on the Manta, Dragonlance, BKB, and start taking down objectives before sort of the other teams got the items online. But with as good of a start Tundra's had with all these fights they've been able to hold Liquid off on and come out on top, that's huge. The Skeeter,
it is.
The money from the Roche and such, he's going to pretty much have the Skadi on top of the SMY and Dragonlance 20 or so minutes in.
Yep, and it really is just a straight up counter matchup. You know, that TB versus the Luna. You get the reflection of the Luna, you get more damage. Once you get the Skadi, the matchup is impossible. Like, Luna just can't do anything terribly, like, ever again. And there's so much burst damage too. That's something I guess we didn't really touch on too much for Mickey.
He's counting us all out. They're coming in with the Moonlight straight away with the arrow. They open up on a Qualifier. Qualifier's gone. So's Insania. Tundra just not giving any room for Liquid to achieve anything whatsoever.
They're looking for the next target too. It's an instant smoke afterwards. Still mattered.
They just walk straight in. Start beating them back here as Mickey and Boxy have to stay away from the tower. And the pressure's coming in. At the meta, they'll be able to push onto this tier 2. Nothing Liquid can do to push them back. They don't have anything that's going to allow them to approach Skeeter right now.
Yeah, they're just so far behind. It really is just so difficult. Mickey has to instantly Manta every time for reflection, and then he just gets instantly Silken Bola, so he can't even hit. Mickey?
Oh!
That was close.
That was... He's lucky to get away there. I've seen her enough with that, but the Yules. I mean, it's 23 minutes in, and this is going to be their final tier 2 going down, folk.
What? Boxy? I guess Boxy's just taking them for a walk. They're just doing some creep cutting shenanigans. We saw Taiga bottom lane trying to cut the bottom wave too. Boxy going to meet up toward his team. Gem on Fada too. Didn't point that one out, but we were mentioning how limited vision was already the name of the game for Liquid most of this time. Even more so now.
Yeah, Liquid just trying to achieve something here, just playing as individuals. As you say, cutting creeps,
Mickey
trying to hold on, but Mickey's all on his own. He's all on his own down bottom. They've found him, they've got him. That's the carry going down. Slowly but surely, and yeah, even just sort of holding back abilities there. Fodder not even throwing out any of the spells, didn't need to. Knows that they were going to be able to slowly kill Mickey without any chance for Liquid to do anything.
This feels like they've never been able to actually even like play the game where they get their ults connecting and like it's like, okay guys, TB has no meta, let's look for a fight, right? It just feels like that's never even been a situation that Liquid's been in. It's just all Tundra. 17k gold lead, full map control. Age is still for 2 minutes. Liquid trapped in the base.
Yeah, this is wild. I mean, Tundra. Now, this is the sort of Dota that if you're able to pull this out at this level as Tundra is, you know, you can tell this team is very geared up and ready for the qualifiers. You know, we've already had it in one best of 3 for them, but here, turning up against Liquid, and in this first game, they're making Liquid look sort of a tier below. They really are. This is just it's just been a pure outclass so far this game one.
Look at our stat right there. Of the 418 games part of Liquid, this is the 6th time where Quake and Mick are both without a kill at the part of the game. That just says it all.
It really does. This is... It's a performance that Liquid's going to have to pick themselves up from pretty quickly going into Game 2, as they've got to do something a lot better than this if they want to stand a chance in the EU qualifiers. Tundra just completely handling them here in this Game 1.
Yeah. Total cakewalk as Boxy does get a spear connection on 33.
They're throwing everything onto him. It's not barely a scratch here. 33. Full HP. Tundra, they'll take the racks. They've got the ults. They're going to try something. Boxy leads in. Immediately the stun comes out. They'll drop the golem. but there just isn't the damage here from Liquid. As soon as the ults have been dropped, Liquid, they're the ones having a run. As a buyback will come out from Tiger, Boxy goes down, he'll also buy back here. Tundra still all at full HP. Qualifier having a zip back, they will get the grab on Sparta. They'll bring down the Nyx Assassin, but it's a dieback on Tiger. Triple kill for 9 as Tundra bully Liquid back to the fountain. They take the racks, they'll back off. Tundra ready to continue to just move towards the next lane, get the next wave pushed in, and lead towards what so far has been one of the cleanest victories we've seen here in the games of Dota.
Yeah, one of the most one-sided affairs I think I've seen here in a while. Skeeter, sitting in the upheaval.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Tundra will still give them the respect. They'll just back away. They're picking up a lot of gold after that too, picking up BKBs and God knows what else. They're all very rich. They'll chill out.
I mean, for Liquid now, you've got to imagine they're going to be thinking about what they'll feel comfortable with doing in the second game. Agreed. I mean, how do you sort of recover from, because you've got to recover quick, as I say, you know, so much on the line with these best of threes on this road towards TI. You've got to have some sort of big talk or some big sort of motivational booster after this sort of game one, as this is pretty much the worst way to start a series.
Yeah, I think one big thing is, of course, like the Brood got left in the pool, but I think Warlock's just too slow of a hero in this patch. So, and they did pick the Luna with Terrorblade in the pool, so there's quite a lot of things that did go wrong inside of the drafting, where it's like you can tell
so
this game is just difficult.
You would put a bit towards the draft.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. This was a pretty big draft win, it feels like, from Tundra. Unless Liquid somehow did just get like huge big team fights, like big team fight connections after that laning phase. It just felt like it was going to be difficult for them. It's just like their cores are countered. That's why I was like, you know, like I said, like the Nyx versus the Storm, the TB versus the Luna.
There we go, second set of Rex. Nothing to be done here by Liquid. They've got the ults. Actually, no Golem for 30. As Tundra, they'll sweep round to the bottom.
They just have to watch. That's what, like, Koifu doesn't have BKB, so he's like, if I zip in, I'm just Yuled and dead instantly.
And they're getting mega there. Boxy, he's going to try with the jump in, but he's not going to be able to catch anyone in the arena. Nobody gets caught. Tiger's dead. Boxy goes down. No buybacks on the two of them. Tundra resume business, taking the final set of racks here away from Liquid, as they're actually chasing them up to the base. Farda's in with the Impel, catches out the Luna. Mikke will be able to get the BKB off, but Liquid, they'll finally tap out. As we did see indeed statistically, one of the worst games that Liquid's ever had here for them, unfortunately, as this was a rough game one. Tundra, on the other hand, though, bringing in that ability, that flair that we really have seen them be able to develop and grow over the course of the end of the league and stuff. You know, we know Tundra as a squad, they're putting the work in, and performances like this certainly show. You know, this is Tundra.
But in the game, it's such a good matchup, and you can just play for the farm. You always feel happy.
Yeah, I guess that's the main thing we're going to see here, right? It's like we wanted from Tundra's, they needed a hero to open up the game for them. And if he can farm like the bots and then that instant BKB, that is when you become the biggest threat on the map, because Liquid has no way to stop this hero running at you. And that could buy the time for TB to come online, defend those early towers. But yeah, that needs to be super efficient in farming mid, going into jungle, getting those items, so that when Liquid wants to group up early, he's ready to lead the team with the Ravage, with the Mirana, kind of, and then throw it into Liquid's face. But, whew.
Any like, you both are giving arguments about why the drafts could be good, but are you still sticking with Tundra, both of you?
I probably, yeah, I feel like this Batrider just is too much of a nuisance to deal with. And yeah, the whole TB thing again. Yeah, TB Batrider are going to be the kings of this game.
Yeah, for me, I feel like Tundra, the draft is very strong in the sense that they have clear both scaling here. So maybe they don't have the best tools to run around. Like Batrider, I wouldn't say is the most active mid. They don't have any sub from Rana. But Team Liquid, who have to run at Tundra, and they do have tools if Team Liquid are the ones having to run in. I mean, Team Liquid, you can always win these games. I don't think there's ever... It's very rare that you have out drafts that are just unplayable. I mean, last game looked like it, but I still don't know if that's true. But I think it's very hard for Team Liquid to win this game. They have to play extremely well and aggressive.
Yeah, I hope that speech mid series was a powerful one. Team Liquid definitely needed it, and if they lose here, they're not out yet. This is the upper bracket, so if they lose here, they just drop down to the lower bracket, and Tundra moves forward to the upper bracket finals. But Team Liquid, of course, wants to see that third game, and I think a lot of Dota fans want to see a third game. We're gonna find out if we're getting that together with ODPixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Sheev. Yes, indeed. We'll see what we get going on here. The game has started, so we should be able to kick you pretty quickly into the action here of Game 2 between Tundra and Liquid. Fog, Liquid, they've got to step it up a lot here. Oh, actually,
and they're going to go on
already. Missed up. Snaking not able to get the connection, and now Liquid turn around. They catch fodder in the river. It will be Liquid that end up claiming the first blood. Liquid, as we heard from the panel, they've got to step it up big time. Game 1 was a tough one. Looking at this game 2, Fogged, have they made it any easier for themselves with the draft, or do you see them having some difficulties again here?
I think it's easier than the last game for sure, but I still have some concerns. I think that they do have some problems. I think the TB is not as answered as I would like him to be, and I think that this TA is pretty hard addressed. You know, Batrider overall throughout the whole stage of the game, as Aoi was saying, sure, the lane might not be the worst for the TA, especially when he gets given first blood. I think he's got boots right away too, so he's going to have a good time there. Overall, though, Bat's going to shut him down every time. If he's able to get on him, he's just going to die every single one of these times. And I think Skeeter, he's going to have the potential to outscale. So yeah, I'm definitely favoring Tundra a bit here, and looking forward to be proven wrong by Liquid if they can play cleaner. But that first game left a pretty sour taste in my mouth.
Absolutely, it was not a close game at all, and of course after getting used to seeing some quite back and forth action here in the Western European qualifiers, and that game definitely saw statistically not one of Liquid's finest, at least quite far from it indeed, as Tundra just again just continuing the level of performance that we saw from them the other day. Very, very strong. So getting Skeeter on his solid carry Terrorblade once more to have some pretty good tools to just consistently bring out that same level of performance and control that they did in Game 1.
And looking to having some pretty damn good matchups, right? Like, I mean, it's a TB versus Monkey King and TA. I don't think TB's really too flustered about this. Sure, he's flustered if Boxy gets crazy farm, but that's probably not going to be happening. As Fada, he's got 10 stick charges. He's kind of baiting them bottom.
Another round of stuns in a second, but they've got to be careful how they overstep the mark. No Metamorphosis to worry about for now, that long cooldown. That gives any chance for Boxy and Tiger to play aggressive.
They got to bring more regen, though. Okay, Tiger's got a good amount. I was like, Boxy's got one tango. And Tiger
in onto Fada. Tiger taking heavy hits here from Skeeter. We'll have to put the Fairy Fire step back.
You're almost dying to the TB when he doesn't have reflection in the lane, or doesn't have meta in the lane. That's a bit scary. We are seeing mid Koifa coming out very far ahead. With having that first blood, having boots, you're pretty much under no threat of the Batrider in the start. So once the levels build up, as we said, in the game is where the Batrider does counteract the TA. So Koifa off to a great start. Taking a look at top, how's Mickey doing? Very well.
The reflection's gonna do it. Boxy can't run away.
Oh,
chases
no.
him down. Skeeter gets a kill in the lane.
Oh, it's just glancing top. I didn't think he would step up again so low, but he actually does. And he's so low, and we were mentioning how he had no regen, so that was a bit surprising for him to do. This is a free farm TB lane.
There's getting the denies as well. 12 and 8 in the safe lane. A kill as well. Skeeter had a pretty free time in Game 1. Maybe looking towards a repeat level of performance here. If Liquid aren't able to keep it together down here as this duo and Boxy and Tiger can't put some sort of pressure onto the Terrorblade.
I really don't feel like they can at all, especially with Fada next to him. He's got just constant heal, sustain, removing of the stuns, etc. Or he's just the one tanking the spells as we've seen him do. Fortunately, though, for Liquid, we do see Mickey having a good time top, shutting down the Tidehunter on the opposite side there. So there is that. But yeah, Skeeter's just, it's a full free TB farm lane. And Boxy is going to start much slower than the Tidehunter. He will have a harder time of recovering it. Boxy.
Haven't got any detection out here at the moment with Fada, so Boxy will be kept safe in the sandstorm.
But applying no pressure and getting constantly zoned away. Concerning.
Saw earlier as well, 9 doing a good job of controlling. Not choosing to play into the face of the TA, did skip behind the tower, grabbed 2 waves to make sure that he's keeping on par. At least trying his best with the farm. Obviously, at the moment, still quite for having that edge. And that little bit more out of this. We'll see what he's able to achieve as a TA that is having a solid start.
They'll have more stacks, though. The Bat will have stacks, I believe, that Snake King's making. He's got, like, the Ancient stack plus the Hard Camp at the ready. TA, not going to have those. She will eventually, and she'll be able to clear the Ancients easier. But 9 can do Ancients, too, which we can't forget, so.
Just enough damage, actually, there with that final hit, Qualifier. That was very, very close. I mean, it must have only just been enough, but it was. Qualifier is able to get a freebie. Snake King strays a little too close to the mid lane. Bottom Snake King.
He's like rotating bottom, okay.
Man, he's going to come back into the map down bottom. I'm trying to look for the body blocks on Tiger, but makes his way around Fada.
I think I want to see Tiger go stack some camps a bit here. They can't really apply the pressure onto the TB anyway, and I don't want Boxy to just be shut down. I don't want him to just be like a stun and just die. He needs to get his own farm in the game.
Moving on to 33. See if they've got enough damage. They'll have another impetus in a second. It won't even be needed. Mickey builds up the stacks, gets the kill.
Bottom. Boxy. It does hit.
Both carries having a good start.
Oh, this is nice from Insania. He's using his Wild Wing to farm the hard camp right now, right next to his ward. So he's stealing that stack away from the Bat Rider. This is a great invasive move from Insania. They get the kill, they walk in, they put the ward, and they steal the stack. Snaking now on the other side, saying he's going to start scouting out the Ancients, perhaps looking to maybe block out as well the TA's camps. Does have a sentry ward, and he has placed an obs to scout out the area.
No, we're still, yeah, not seeing any stacks as you wanted to from Liquid. Bottom Fada. Be able to step away, Boxy and Tiger. Again, running a little low on the potential to throw anything more out onto the Abaddon.
Haste rune bottom. 9, he could make a move with this.
Oh, he certainly will. Snake King's also around as well, starting to beat it onto Tiger. 9, actually, it's not going to be tempted for it. He's going to turn his attention over towards Boxy instead, looking towards the bigger two than the core.
Really hanging on to that haste.
The prize is mine.
Just slowly pursuing Boxy. I mean, do they have detection between the two of them?
Dust.
They do. Dust,
yeah.
Dust on Fada. And there it goes. Boxy. He's not gone anywhere out of this. TP's still on cooldown. They'll take him out. I mean, 9, as you said, playing it cool. Same time up top.
Yeah.
McKay and Insania. They're going to go for another round on 33, and they've got it. 33 bullied out of the top lane as well. So we are seeing both offlaners definitely being punished in this early game.
Yeah, they do have methods of recovery, though, for the Tidehunter, where Snake King does not right now. No stacks. Now Taiga is starting to get those stacks started. Much needed. And I guess because he held the haste rune, he wanted to hold that haste rune because he wants to get a bigger kill. He doesn't want to get
good efficiency.
The Sand King, who's already shut down, who's having like no game. What he wants is to get a haste lasso on a TA. A haste lasso, probably the TA. I would say maybe the Monkey King, but it's more than likely just him going for Quake because it's a guaranteed kill, just with an arrow. Which they will have snaking in the area for.
Snaking there with the backup if 9 find a chance around this. Farming aggressively, trying to take away some of the neutral area that Liquid Koi for sweeping through.
Seeing Liquid all prepped around their triangle here. It's all scouted. We're seeing Tundra just keeping it, and there's the smoke. So smoke with the haste rune. Gonna look to contest these stacks with that. 5 seconds till Firefly.
And Fada's gonna bait some action.
Quite fun. He's got to be cautious.
He's heading in with the wraparound. They're heading straight over towards him. Stun off the market from Tigers. 9's able to sidestep it. Flame break back into the range of the lasso. 9's got the grab.
dispel.
Insania is coming in with the heals though, and Quake's going to be fine. They don't have anything else to follow up on to Quaper. Liquid turning up in full force to try and turn this around, though. Catch Fudder. Nine's able to make it away. So a lot of attention being drawn to this area. Liquid do respond. They do get the kill. They won't get a core, though.
There's a great flame break to push him onto high ground there, but then a beautiful enchant coming out from Insane to dispel that haste rune off, so can't actually get the distance to get him up.
Move. Mickey ready to now play aggressive on the bottom half with Insania. Got to put some pressure onto this tower. We'll see how much Tundra put into holding this. Skeeter does have Metamorphosis ready for the defense.
They have Ravage also on about 1 creep, so 33. He'll be available. Yeah, he'll be able to TP down. I think they can set up the defense. 9 short of the bots, though. Let's see. They're bringing Fada down, too, so it does feel like they are going to defend this, but Liquids, they're bringing reinforcements. Taiga TPing down. No points in Edict. They'll just have the 2 points in stun
They're
and 1
getting
in
aggressive.
lightning.
Mickey.
Going
He's
deep.
charging indeed. He's looking to chase down Skeeter, get the Jingle Mastery stacks built up. Skeeter juking around the trees. Mickey will get the final hit off. Snake King's TP'd him.
Big
Balance Strike comes crashing down onto Snake King. Snake King will manage to leap out of the side in time, but Fada will fall. They get the kill on the Abaddon. The rest of Tundra do split away as the aggression of Liquid will get them a kill and should potentially give them the space to take this tower now, with Tundra unable to set up for the defense.
Interesting that they bring the Mirana down anyway, even if Tide's not going to come. Because if Tide's not going to come, it feels like there's no way you can defend this on the side of Tundra, as Snake's just dead too.
He's still hanging around. Mickey finds it. Another kill in. Mickey off to a super hot start. 4-0-2 already on the Monkey King. Tower's being taken. He's going to hit a quick Echo Saber this game. This is already looking like a much better start from Liquid here in this game too.
Where are you going?
I want him to keep being active on the map. I want him to keep looking for stuff, not be the farmer. He has a TA in the game, so I want him to just keep making the moves around and just keep swinging around, just following the TB around to slow down the farm. Because yeah, Quakefa's going to get that crazy timing on the Desolator because of it, and then it's going to give space for Boxy to recover, which he really does need. 9 even continuing to bully the Sand King up top.
I mean, for the most part, you expect to see what Mickey sort of just stay on Tundra's half of the map.
I would like him to, yeah. I think that's the way he should play this game. Just because he has that TA and he has this under-farm Sand King right now. Once Sand King has the Blink Dagger, then I feel like Mickey can be a little bit more greedy with himself, but for right now, I feel like he does have to play quite active.
Radiant's courier has been slain in cold blood.
3k gold lead.
Is under attack.
Splitting up all over the map, too. And Tundra cannot take advantage of it right now.
Oh, Quakeford making the most with this space. He's going to hit these scary item timings, as you would expect on a TA that's had all the free area of his half of the map.
Radiant's
Desolator pretty shortly round the corner. Over in the jungle, they found 9. At the back with the Moonlight Shadow and Fada TP in it as well. Sentry has been dropped here by Liquid. Backup TP's coming in though for Tundra around the outpost. Snake King looking for the angle onto Insane. He's not going to be able to get the connection though, missing the arrow. Insane is going to live for a little bit longer. Heads out to the side. 9 still trying to get in on this. Getting the stacks and sticking it up. Build up on a Mickey. Ravage from 33 comes out and trying to hold back Liquid as Tundra. They're looking to escape. Tiger chasing down 9. They're in with the jump. Mickey is going to get lassoed. 9 will continue dragging back, but 9 solo. The balance comes down to 33. In fact, not onto 9 though, so 9 will be able to escape. Have they even got the damage for 33? They don't. 33's off into the trees. Liquid not quite yet able to get a kill out of this. 9 to continue to get these stacks really built up on Tiger and Quakefa. Big hit comes in onto 9, and 9's gone. Fada can't get after the miscoil or the shield in time. 9 will fall. Boundless comes crashing down onto Fada. Snake King, he's on the run. Mickey looking to chase. The Primal springs up. Snake King has no leap available. One more hit here from the Monkey King. Claims the kill. As Liquid, they will persist, and they continue to get this action going in their favor. Mickey now up 6-0-3 on the Monkey King.
And Taiga instantly goes mid too, starts edicting, and look at top. Skeeter, he starts hitting on tower, but Boxy's still in the area, and they're ready or swinging Mickey.
This is a big kill if they can finish it off. TP coming in for 9. Want to try and protect. Oh,
Mickey, what?
Oh.
Okay,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Didn't need to hit it, didn't hit it. You know, no need to be overkill. Mickey knows that.
And immediately smoking, not slowing down. I love this right now. They're actually playing, they're getting to play their game. Unlike the game before where it was like they weren't able to play around any of these cooldowns or anything like that. Like, oh, TB meta's on cooldown, Ravage is on cooldown. This game, they're actually able to take advantage of stuff. Swing around the map quickly, Ravage still cooldown, meta cooldown, everything's on cooldown. got a huge advantage. They could potentially even look for a Roche.
Wait up.
And Liquid
Snaking.
chasing it onto him. Another kill for Quakefa. They have, no doubt about it, recovered big time after what was a rough game 1. This game 2, no messing around, and they've been top lane. But live here with the borrowed time. But this really is looking like the series turned on its head.
Oh boy! And they just stole the entire ancient stack too. So that was the Tide slash TB's ancients that are just completely taken away, and now it's the Roche too. Looks like the shoe is on the other foot this time around, Tundra. Now it feels like they've got nothing they can do.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I mean, this could be the beginning of a stomp the other way around. 14 minutes in to have to lead the Liquid 2. And on the course that they have, this TA and Monkey King, and TA in particular, Quakefa, 9k net worth. Absolutely massive. Blink Dagger's going to be on its way out soon on top of the Aegis.
Yeah, and Bat doesn't have a way to get right on top of him just yet, right? He went for the bots first. He needs bots and Blink to be able to do what we were saying about how he counteracts TA inside of the game. Like, he'll just die before he gets into the range of it, as we've seen a couple times now. Snaking. Shows his face stop.
Got the catch. Straight onto Snake. Snake trying to leap away. They can find him with the AoE damage of Tiger. They do. Another one for Liquid onto the tier 1 tower. Tundra not in any sort of position to stop this push.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Feels like they have to avoid until they get like another set of big items, or if they find like some pick up with the boosted travel on 9. Yeah, it doesn't feel like they really can just fight into this Liquid lineup now with such a big advantage. Liquid knows this. They're smoking. They're swinging across the map looking for the battle.
They are there hunting. And with the scan connecting, they know that Tundra's up here. 33. Gonna be the one to find the movement first. Liquid in onto the side. 33 has to accept his fate. If anything alone, just maybe the information enough here to allow Skeeter to get out. Has got a TP available. He'll step himself a safe distance away. Will manage to retreat back to his half of the map.
Crazy how we see such a switch of like play from one game to the next. Liquid just looks like it's a completely different team. Like Tundra's making some mistakes, sure, but Liquid just looks like it's like 100 times different. Like,
yeah, they weren't playing like this in game 1. They really weren't.
No.
Maybe just needing the warm up, maybe. But it is exciting in a series like this, as I say, if Liquid do get this stomp underneath their belts here in this game 2. Now, what on earth's going to happen in game 3? Are we going to see game 1 Tundra, or are we going to see game 2 Liquid?
Yeah, pretty much. Tundra now starting to feel like they need to get this big coordination come together, which wasn't what Liquid was lacking in the last game. All sticking together around the TB with meta. They've got Ravage available. They're just getting so poor now. The TA has almost double the net worth.
Yep.
Pretty much anybody else.
Quakefa is having well, yeah, certainly making up for some of those rough initiations from game 1 Storm.
Yeah, he's like, look, I'm not versus a Nyx Assassin at Storm this time. You know, I'm a TA. I'm versus a Bat Rider, but who cares?
I mean, honestly, I think, yeah, last game, I think maybe some of the moves were made in frustration just to sort of say, look, what can I do? I zip in, I get stunned, I die. You know, I don't think that would necessarily have been a fun situation to play the Storm into. Maybe it was not maybe his first sort of choice of hero to play in that sort of game, but gets handed it anyway, has a tough time.
And it feels also like, yeah, we do see that stat, of course. 12 kills is their 5th highest together in their 420 games, but I feel like this time it looks like a different directive that's driving Liquid too, of just, you know, they're not just going for kills, they're going for the next thing afterwards. Like when they did that play top, they kill the Tide, they dive him, they put a deep ward, and they steal the stack. So they're doing like these 3x things rather than just like thinking one step ahead. They're really preparing in this one, you can tell. And Tundra, they're not so much really. You know, they tried to do the big brain play of like saving the haste rune and stuff on 9, but ended up not working. Got totally counteracted by Liquid. And now you've got the blink on the bat, but your base is getting knocked on.
Yeah, 17 minutes in, Liquid. They're ready to start tackling the barracks. I mean, he's got the Aegis. He doesn't mind tanking an hour ahead. As they will jump to look to grab the bat with the last of the Ravage. Comes out, catches onto the 4 of them. But the damage to bring Boxy down. Boxy on the Sandstorm off the side of Wukong's commands laid down. Boxy will fall. Wukong's command, no Mickey, getting the space for himself and Quakefa continue to tackle the objectives. Tundra, though, they are pushing them back. Tiger goes down.
Okay.
Tundra can chase for more. 9. To try and stay on top of Mickey.
They got the two
will be able to
stunners.
slow him down.
So they really want to chase forward here. No sanking, no Lesh. Don't have to worry about the AoE stuns, but they can't chase forward.
All in all, though, Tundra base defended. The racks stay up. They are able to push Liquid away before an objective is claimed.
And it didn't use meta, actually. Skeeter was holding it the whole time. Didn't have to end up popping it. Sure, they used Ravage and Lasso, but pretty good hold when you're at a 10k deficit.
Absolutely.
Liquid respawning. Looks like they want to go right back to bottom lane, though. Lesh TPing down. Sanking pushing out mid.
Yeah,
They're saying do it again.
They're a Ravage down. You still have the benefit of the Aegis. Quake's in with a couple of hits on a Snaking. Not enough to kill him, though. They turn with the arrow. They will manage to burn Quake's life once.
It's got that's an Ags gush. Okay, Tide's got an Ags.
I guess this quick timing is going to help out with the deep push. Is he going to help out enough, though? Moxie's in with a stun on Safada. This time round, Liquid, they will have the space to get the racks. 19 minutes in, the first set of barracks taken away by Liquid. Liquid still maybe want to fight. They're in. Trying to over the jump there, able to blow up Fada. Fada not standing a chance there to the hard hits of Quakefa.
I think Tundra accepted the fact that that Rax was going to go down, right? They just had Skeeter farming top the whole time. They didn't even call him back. They're like, all right, if Liquid makes the call to come down here, you just don't come. And Liquid did make that call, so
Dire's
Tundra
top tower is under attack.
quite on the back foot here. Liquid still continue to have most of the control of the map. Almost a BKB done on the TA now, too. Manta soon to be finished on Mickey. They're pretty rich. And now looking to claim this triangle area. Deny this away from Skeeter. Bit cautious to walk in, though.
I mean, with all the pressure and the lead that is building up in favor of Liquid, Skeeter is doing a good job standing toe-to-toe with the farm of Mickey. You see the iron progression. He's still making good strides into it. He's not falling off. So despite the lead that Liquid have, if there is that sort of that misplay, that overextension on the high ground against heroes, against spells really, like the Ravage, the Lasso into the damage output of TB standing in his place with the Metamorphosis. Tundra, they do have strong abilities to be able to turn around a misplay from Liquid. So Liquid, despite the early lead that they've built up and the early racks that they've claimed, they do still have to remain on top of their game here against Tundra.
They absolutely do. And they got to watch out for how much damage will kick out from the TB. Because sure, the TB may not be the most farmed in comparison to TA, but he has an Ags Gush, which is never, you can't really ever write that off. That extra minus armor that comes out from a TB just wailing on you.
This could really work out to be a big brain early purchase for 33.
Yeah, we'll see. Liquid's it's relentless. They're showing no mercy, and I see, did Taiga purchase the shard? He didn't. Okay, he bought a 4-step, but they're ready for the push.
I mean, they know they're still at this moment in time hitting quite a peak in their strength. And we dive in. And on to 9-9. He's gone.
They got him.
The stun's landed. 9's out of the game here. Does have buyback available. There's still 20 seconds without the tide as well.
Did Fada not have borrowed time there? Just borrow time to stun and then shield him off? I think you hesitated for a second.
Now he's
at 2.
And he is. The speed that the heroes are dying, though, you're not getting much time to react at all. One stun and literally 2 hits from Quakefa, and you are gone. The damage output, of course, of this TA this early on, incredibly potent. Push coming in. They're going to have creeps joining them in a second, so the backdoor protection to disappear. Tundra will have the full lineup back up for the defense. We're already going to see Ode back on Liquid's half. They've managed to get in onto him. Skeeter, has he got any way out of this? He doesn't. The stun controls there from Tiger and Boxy. The magical damage as well as they bring down Skeeter.
That's a pretty big GG kill right there. That's 40 seconds without him where he's not going to be farming on the map too, and he needs every little moment in the game to be able to 1v5. Oh, I didn't see that, but AUI messages me, goes 33 pulled wave with Courier. So I guess that's what happened in the mid lane. That's why there were no creeps there. We saw Tundra do that actually in the
Was it? I was going to say we had some.
Was it in the qualifiers?
I think it was Tundra.
Yeah, it was Tundra. I think they lost that game, but they tried.
They did. Oh, Mickey. Ravage comes out as well. They're chain stunning Mickey. Mickey's gone. They're able to bring down the Monkey King. Over towards Boxy they go. Sand King also will fall. The racks have been taken, but not without the casualties. Liquid, they lose 2 cores for this. See if Tundra can get more out of this. They get the knockback onto Quakefa. No lasso, of course, already used, but the arrow connects.
Big stun.
Tiger Holding them back with the split off. In fact, looking to try and turn as he runs back in onto Snake King. The hit comes down to Fada, not enough damage to finish him off. Skeeter steps in with the Metamorphosis, brings down Quake. Tiger falls as well. Liquid, they get the racks, but it's not a clean job. Losing 4 heroes for it. And big streaks being claimed. They're 33, able to get quite a bit of a cash bonus for taking out Quake. And they're ready to run it down mid and have a bit of a pushback now, Team Tundra, despite losing the racks.
That's pretty decent. That's almost the Scotty done. So Skeeter, his death, it hurts a lot, but once he's got Scotty, he'll have a pretty decent way to stand toe-to-toe with TA if they do have ways to protect him with frontline heroes, which they should with the Tide, who's going to start getting a lot tankier after, you said, he got that big gold bounty from the TA. So another 2,600 on him. Then we do still have a game on our hands.
Certainly do. There's absolute turnaround potential from Tundra's lineup. I mean, as you said at the start, there's did like the draft of Tundra, and it's, I think one of the reasons was this sort of situation that even if Liquid gets this sort of lead and takes control of the early game, Tundra, if they land their spells, get that team fight together, set up for Skeeter's Terrorblade to pop off, they absolutely can still win these engagements even though they are behind.
And it does look like Liquid does feel like they're playing with a bit of a timer the way they did. So they know too, they need to like run down these lanes. They can't let this TB get to this point. Can't get to like the next item. If he gets like this Scotty, he gets one more item, that's probably where Liquid just loses the game. I do feel like they need to keep keeping this game clean. They have 30 seconds till Roche comes back up. It's gonna coincide with the Ravage cooldown though. A bit fortunate for Tundra on that respawn.
Scanning for enemies.
Absolutely, because you got to sort of ask yourself, you know, when the next item comes out for Skeeter, you know, what's going to save a member of, you know, core of Liquids if they do get caught out by a Ravage, instant beatdown of the Metamorphosis size TB. You're going to get the kill every time, Tundra, if you can find that sort of opening to a team fight.
Yeah, and they have, I mean, they have Blink Dagger, right? They have Blink Ravage. Blink Ravage plus an arrow. They'll be able to take out one of the heroes very quickly. And there's only, I believe, the BKB on Quakefoot. So they can target Mikke and then just isolate Quakefoot at the end of the fight with a lasso. So Mikke has to be very careful with his positioning.
Looking for the Roche here, Liquid. Tundra do have everything.
Whoops.
Well, okay, 20 seconds till Metamorphosis. Let's see if they can get in the pit.
The Lesh stuns being just blanketed.
Moxie. Was 9. 33's in.
Ravage.
Ravage is out. He's able to catch all 5 of them. He jumps in. He's caught Tiger. He's caught Insania. Tiger and Insania to fall. There'll be a buyback straight away for Tiger.
Nine got
the Roche, but 9. He's able to get the snatch. The Aegis is grabbed. Sure, they bring him down, but 9, he was able to get the Aegis, and he also got the cheese. As Skeeter clears up with a triple. 33. He is getting turned upon by Mikke. Quakefoot jumps in as well. 33.
Skeeter has meta.
Turns around with the gush. Mikke, he's got to be careful. Skeeter, he's stepping in. He's looking for more kills. Jump forward from Boxy here with the barrel track onto Skeeter, but Skeeter just thunders himself back up to full HP. Boxy, he's up in the air with the Yules. He can't get away though as they bring down another. Fighter pushing back onto Insania. These are diebacks from Liquid. Quakefoot also to fall. As the whole lead and advantage that Liquid had at the start completely taken away from them now. As Tundra, they draw the game back to even. And maybe even more than that if Liquid
Maybe even more.
weren't able to get more than just a couple of set of racks here 26 minutes in with their aggression against Tundra's strong scalability. The rest of this game could not look too hot for Liquid at all. Tundra hitting their element, Skeeter at this incredible power level, and 33 on the Tide. Those little things getting the kill in the previous fight against Quad for that cash boost, making sure he had the blink ready for this fight. He's in. Perfect Ravage, 9, perfect steal. Tundra, they're blowing the game wide open.
That's everything I was gonna say. Yeah. it was flawless. They caught everybody. 5-man Ravage. They get the steals. Who ended up getting the shard? He didn't take that too, right? I think he got the shard too.
I think it's right, he didn't buy that for himself. I don't think he's buying the shard on that. I think he did pick that up as well. 9.
My God. I mean, that's like super game-winning stuff coming out there from Tundra. Now they've got, like Skeeter, he's got his Scotty, and now he almost has that next item as we were talking about. He had the butterfly queued, which I kind of liked. Maybe trying to protect himself with BKB. I think he might still switch it, but okay, he's going for BKB, but yeah, now they're in a comfortable spot. The whole game is just completely switched.
Spot.
And TB is now the strongest hero in the game, which for a long time it was Quakefoot, but now it is by far Skeeter.
And I think he's going to continue to be exactly that for the rest of this game.
I think so too.
With the BKB done, there's not a lot that's going to be stopping Skeeter from getting these kills as we saw in that last fight, picking up the triple. This Terrorblade now a monster, and Liquid, as you said, we did sort of see that the borderline desperation with the way that they were just charging down, going for these early racks. Sure, they hit them at good timings, but maybe not quite good enough here. With the lead now favoring Tundra in net worth. Liquid, they can't allow any more mistakes. Another mismove, and this game is going to slip into very difficult territory for Liquid to regain the lead that they had.
Yeah, it just did tick to Dota Plus favor as well, too, for Tundra. So it was like 90% for Liquid for quite a long time, and it did just switch. Yeah, it was like 85, 90%. So
that's quite a turnaround.
And Tundra's got everything ready. Liquid, they better be ready as well.
Boxy's gone. Quick grab from 9, sees the Sand King. Boxy out, 50 seconds, he's gone. Tundra easily can look towards taking away this final tier 2 tower. They swing around to the bottom lane. Mickey has got the BKB, so a little bit more survivability from in these fights, but as we say, regardless of the Magic immunity, you're not going to have fun fighting underneath the nose of the Terrorblade.
And I feel like now I think they might just lack damage now for the TB. Like these last 2 fights for Tundra, they've acquired so much gold. They have Greaves on snaking too. They have extra heals coming out from that with the shields. So Skeeter, he's gotten infinitely stronger really since the last few times they battled him. A Titan Sliver as well. Like 37 armor. Like the TA and the Sand King and all that could burst him down before, as we saw the Sand King Lesh take him out, but now so quickly it's turned. Like Liquid, you can look at their posture on the map. They know they're on the back foot now.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw from them a clear strategy when it came to using this draft from ahead. We've got to see what they can do when they're now playing from behind, these heroes.
Mickey?
Okay. For Fada. Fada still has the borrow time available. Now, with the borrow strike, Fada able to step off with the ult and has the backup of Tundra by him, so Liquid can't really try and chase this down anymore. 33 does have the Ravage. Good to go. Mickey's got to put the BKB. Time with the balance strike onto Fada, another 4-star as Fada gets himself away from Mickey. They've got to head away. If 33 gets a good jump on this could be the fight over for Liquid. And with the guys looking at Boxy with the Yules and the blink out, will manage to get away. Skidder still stepping in. Mickey watching from the tree line, time for the idea of dropping the Wukong's command. Boxy is getting beaten down by the illusions of Skidder. That's Boxy gone. Now a man down, Liquid. This is not a team fight that they want to get involved in anymore, as Liquid, they'll have to run. Insania trying to break himself away from them, but Skeeter's in. The stun control's there for snaking with the arrow. 2 more kills for Tundra.
Instantly Moonlight Shadow, swing across the map, 30 seconds to find another kill. Lanes are in a good spot. TB sends an illusion toward top. Mickey, he has no BKB. 9's already on top of him.
Yeah, Fada heading straight over. I'm going to catch him mid-spring attempt up to the tree line. What more have they got? He's going for the TP out, trying to spread him far enough away to stop any sort of cancel coming in for the rest of Tundra, and it will work. They get the 2 of them out of there.
All your lanes are pushed in now, though. Liquid, they're respawning, but yeah, these illusions, TB has cut everything, and they still have meta, they still have Ravage. Sure, Lasso was used, but starting to see that they don't really need that anymore. So now Liquid, what's your move? Like you said, what do you do when you're behind with this drop?
What do you do?
They're getting close to the data list on Quakefoot, but they have to find like ways to get back into the fights. Like they just can't get through this front line. This TB, this tide.
But they're jumping on Fada, but again, you're committing onto the abandon. He's got borrowed time. Fada's fine and out to the low ground. Okay. Try and chase a little bit tentatively. Does have BKB ready to pop if a turn comes into play, but won't be required. Tundra step out to the side.
He's starting to get
back in. Oh, they're going to have an arcane ready for the next fight as well. 9's going to grab it.
9's going to have that, yeah. Like almost butterfly done now on Skeeter. So they're going to be a full item behind now on both of these cores. They're not going to be able to deal with him. That's what we're mentioning, how when he gets that next item versus this lineup, like this is why TB is the king of the scaling in this game. Even though Liquid had such a good early game, Skeeter, he's hit his stride. 8-2 and 8.
Yeah,
looked scary for a moment for him, but yeah.
And Tundra showing some incredible strengths in this series. Coming out game 1 with a complete stomp from the start. And as you said, and we saw there on the probability of this one, turning around a game that Liquid had such a solid beginning with. But it slips away. Tundra hit back so hard with that fantastic play and coordination around the Roche pit. that Tundra absolutely, even if it's just a 3K lead, it feels like much more than that. Tundra, they are the ones with the huge advantage right now because of the position their heroes are in.
And I think it's a testament of itself when yesterday we saw the same thing from Tundra. They were behind significantly in a game, and they knew how to play from behind. I think that shows me, for me, a team that's actually better. It's a team that knows how to play behind with the draft rather than a team that plays from ahead. And Tundra's shown this several times, so yeah, very impressive so far, and yeah, looking really good for them in these next few moments, unless Liquid lands some huge connection. Yeah, 15 of the 251 games so far in TI10 calls have had an 11,000 plus K. 11,000.
Not a lot.
No, it's not.
Not a lot at all, and Tundra looking to pad that stat up a little bit you know, with this sort of showing. I mean, Liquid, how do you go about the fights? Like, we've already established this Terrorblade, very hard to burst through. Like, can you even commit onto Skeeter, or have you just got to look to try and take everyone else around him? I mean, how on earth do you go around with dealing with this Terrorblade now at this point?
You have to kill everybody but him. You have to isolate him completely, and it's extremely difficult. They're not fragile at all, and the ones that you run into every time, it's a Tidehunter and a Batten. So they just soak your abilities, and they don't care. Roche is back up. Tundra looking for the fight.
Where are you going?
Skeeter just heading in first. He's got the squad smoked up behind him. Keeps charging it, and they're able to get the grab on his point, but they've got the lasso down. 33's in with the Ravage. He's able to get it off, catch them all. They don't get the BKB off in time on Mickey. It's 2 dead. Mickey now pops the BKB. Loose was fight up a fight. Got the borrowed time. Mickey just dying to the damage output on Skeeter. Mickey's gone over to the side. Gush catches Insania once more. 33 finding the perfect Ravages here that just Liquid, they're not ready. They're not ready for them whatsoever. Tundra straight up to the high ground. No buyback on Quake for a minute. Good amount of duration still left on the Metamorphosis. This is going to be some heavy damage done to the base of Liquid.
They might just go tier 4s. I think they might just end this game.
Tundra.
Yeah, they have to buy back, but
they've got to do something, Liquid.
I don't think they can even hold with this buyback. TA's still dead.
BKB still on cooldown for Mickey. He can't really get anywhere close to approaching them. The meta will come to an end. I don't know if that matters too much. Skeeter is going to continue to step up. They will jump in on the back line. Snakey's going to get healed up by the missed call. He's off to the side. Mickey, he's held in position. Mickey's gone out of action. Tundra, they can look to close this one up with 3 dead on Liquid. Tiger and Insania giving their final attempts to push them back. It's not going to happen. Tundra, they focus the Ancient. GG is called as Tundra will take the series 2-0. And my goodness, as we say, with game 1 being a complete stop from Tundra, game 2, Tundra turning it round masterfully. They just completely outclassed and outplayed Liquid today, Paul.
I totally agree. First 15 minutes, first 20 minutes or so for Liquid looked perfect. And then like 1-2 slip-ups, Tundra somehow just makes it work. This was really impressive individual things and really